I study YouTube, and I think YouTube is a failure, really, in delivering the promises that these technologies really, the ways in which they really could enhance our ability to communicate, open up channels of discourse, allow people to build things together. I mean, that simply doesn't happen on YouTube. But I would say that the idea that it's democratic, which is one of the ways that it sells itself, is simply untrue. The structure of popularity is how YouTube is organized. So the more something is voted for, the more visible it becomes, and it dominates the terrain. And everything that is not popular, what I call niche tube, is almost invisible. It's very hard to find. And so you get a kind of democracy of the loudest voices, things that already make us feel comfortable, usually jokes, usually parodies of things we're already familiar with. There's a great level of familiarity and comfort. So again, in a democracy, you don't want to imagine that the only things you hear in the public sphere are the things you already know, the things you're already comfortable with, the things you've already seen. And that's not the democracy I want to live in. So the kind of invisibility of the underlayer on YouTube is of great concern to me. They're there, certainly. The access is democratic. But because the search function is so poor, you probably will never see people who are expressing alternative viewpoints. So it's not exactly a flattening. It's sort of, there's like two layers, really. And they don't ever speak to each other. There's no consideration whatsoever to form. And in fact, the less consideration to form, the better, because it sort of validates the authenticity of the speaking subject. So, you know, it's uncut, there's no interest in how it's framed, you know, it doesn't matter if it's lit, it's shot with a camera on a computer. We've never seen such bad video, really. What would those video blogs be like if we could imagine a small amount of visual sophistication? But, you know, I guess the other question for me is one of content and not just a form, right? So that what kind of education do regular users need? All of these people who sort of can now put these hands on these tools to feel liberated, to use them to express things profound, or things personal, or things critical. You know, I think as you hope and as you suggest that people gain on their own the ability to think about form and formal complexity and to sort of learn from what's around them, I think at the same time that has to come with it. Yeah. The belief that they have something to say themselves. Because of course I actually do believe that everyone does. And you know, most of what you see on YouTube is this degenerate form of expression. Really, it tends to be mainstream culture, either just repeated or parodied, and it gives us no insight into kind of daily thinking of regular people.